welcome to this episode of Conversation with a Chef. I'm Jo Ritty and I love sharing with you the conversations I get to have with talented and passionate chefs. It's the backstory, if you will, to the food they're putting up. I begin today by acknowledging the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, traditional custodians of the lands and airwaves of Nam where this conversation takes place. Land which was never ceded. Land where communities came together to eat seasonally, locally and without exhausting resources. I pay my respects to their elders past and present and to any First Nations people listening today. Today I'm talking to Larry Jour from Bansho Dining in Armadale. Larry is here for a good time and that's what he wants for guests to Bansho as well. He is the epitome of hospitality and is constantly seeking ways to learn more about food and wine and to welcome his guests with warmth and conviviality. No stranger to hospitality, Larry grew up with a family who ran coffee shops and motels in Melbourne, and as a teenager he worked for his parents before moving to the States for university. After a brief stint studying finance, Larry decided it wasn't for him and felt drawn to architecture and the arts, and worked for a while as an art curator. He met his wife Mira and they decided to move back to Australia and opened 2 restaurants in Adelaide before coming to Melbourne to open Bansho in Armadale. Larry describes Bansho as an elevated neighbourhood bistro, combining Japanese ingredients with French technique. If you're not quite sure what that means, you'll just have to go and try for yourself. But highlights from my meal were the Chawanmushi, the steamed egg custard, so delicious, with spanner crab, celeriac vichyssoise and avruga caviar, and the poisson du jour with arare and katsuo bushi, beurre blanc. I had the best time talking to Larry and I felt as though I'd made a new friend. We really could have talked for hours, and I'm so happy to share this with you. Hi, how are you?
Good, good. Welcome.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
Yeah, it's nice to be here again. I feel like there's lots to talk about because I hadn't realised, or maybe I hadn't properly read your bio, but now I have, that you trained as an architect, and then that just totally makes sense.
Yeah, so...
For the beautiful fit out.
Yeah, so that's mostly my wife's job.
Yeah.
She pick out all the small details and stuff, but she worked with our architect together because she just doesn't have a license here in Australia. Because we used to work in the US, and then she's more well-versed in this area than I am, because I ended up working as a curator in an art gallery. Oh. So I was like talking to clients and stuff. That's why you see me mostly at the front, so like more people's person. Yeah. But yeah, like all the, like, you know, the materials, the tables, you know, the stones, tiles, the paint, everything is picked by her. And then there's a little funny story about the paint. We were not too happy with whatever they had. Yes. And then it was like near the end of the construction because they're like painting everything, and then we had like 4 hours to figure out new solution. And then we were like, okay, you know what we can do? We can just go to Porter's down the street. And then we were like, let's see your samples. Yeah. And then they made this color for us. Oh. Yeah, so they're like, it's a satin, it used to be like a satin silver darker color. And we're like, we want gold because it looks better without lighting. Yeah, it's beautiful. And then like, yeah, the small details are like hand finished with the Egyptian cotton. Oh. Yeah. Wow. So spray, touch, spray again, touch again, and spray the last. That's it. Okay, that's very art. Yeah, it's very, yeah. And I read another publication wrote about you, and they said they described it as art deco. Is that what you? Yeah, I'll say the curves and art deco and Gilt Age. Because we chose brass. And more of a more subdued texture, because I know like Art Deco and, you know, Gilt Age is a little bit flashy, but I feel like with our dining environment, it's a little bit better to have something more toned down, and so people can feel relaxed coming in. So you see like matte finishes, even with the paint, we try not to go like overboard a little too much, and then especially with the color, the tiles, it fits in with our overall color scheme.
Yeah.
So it doesn't, like when you walk in, doesn't hurt your eyes. Yeah.
It's so beautiful. So all these curves, have you put these in, like the arches? And
Yeah,
the,
and then the wallpaper.
Yeah.
We because in overall we feel like too many sharp edges or angles, like corners feel a bit aggressive. People feel it naturally, even if they don't actively say, oh, this and that, but like even if people go to corners, they like to touch things. Like
right.
if it's too sharp, it gives them like an unpleasant feeling.
Yes.
Yeah, and then you can see from our table as well, it's like the edge are all like rounded off.
Oh, they are.
Yeah.
Yes. So no one's going to injure
gonna be
themselves.
Like, yeah. And then we chose this finish because we do like people leaving marks on the table.
Oh, well, I was just noticing that.
Yeah.
Even then, I was put
with more people coming in, the table is gonna wear and tear like naturally, and then we can just sort of like restore it a little bit, but leave the texture on there, so it's better.
It's like a history of the people that have passed through, isn't it?
Yeah. So we're
nice.
joking with customers, and they're like, Larry, I want that table like all the time. Like, do you want me to put your name on a plaque? Like on the, but people appreciate these small things. I think, which is important, because at the end of the day, you'll be having a meal, and any diners will look around, and then anything that you didn't think about would just stick out. Even like people who doesn't have design or architectural backgrounds, it's a human nature to look for things that is odd, in a sense. So what we were taught was to think a lot, even if you think it's too much, it's the right point.
You're right.
So when we our professors are like, my boss, he's to tell me like, Larry, I know, like, I tell you to not overthink, but sometimes you need to think a lot, because these people are gonna come in, they're gonna expect things from you, even then they're very friendly people, but at the end of the day, they're all customers. So you need to treat them with whatever you have, the best you have at that moment. So that requires a lot of thinking beforehand to make sure, like, if I need this at that moment, I have it. So like, it's all preparation things.
Yeah, that's right. And you don't want the public or the diners coming in and for there to be questions in their head about, like, well, how does this work, or what does, where do I sit, or what do I don't know. I feel like you have to go that extra mile just so that when they come in, it's just all there, and it feels right.
It makes sense.
Yeah, right. Okay, but this isn't your first restaurant, is it?
Yeah. We had two in Adelaide. It's called the Mugen House. It was like pure Japanese food.
Okay.
It wasn't as, I would say, more upmarket as this one. It was more of like a family style. We were doing, I think, 180 to 220 a night on the busy days.
That's huge.
Yeah. So we had, I think we could fit in like 100 people at a time.
Wow.
So we're doing 2 rounds.
Okay.
Yeah, especially for like Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and then it was like a very fast-paced environment. I was washing dishes.
Wow.
Yeah. I had a front of house manager, and I had enough stuff, so I was like, you know what? Because I need to know the kitchen as well. So I started learning just by washing dishes and stuff. We had 2, one in Glenelg, near the beach, one in CBD.
Yeah.
And we let the one near the beach go, because it's taking too much effort to run 2 shops. And then we sort of felt like we had the plan to open something similar to this in Adelaide, but it didn't work out in the end. So we came back to Melbourne. We took a break like in between, so we went back to China. and then we came back, and it was like a sort of like a family idea to try to do something different. So
Yeah.
it's a good place for us to sort of like, you know, use our experience a little bit more, especially in, you know, hospitality and design as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I haven't been to Adelaide. I'm originally from New Zealand, but
Yeah.
and it's no excuse because I've lived here for maybe 12 years now. So I could have been to Adelaide, but I
Yeah.
have not yet. And it's a real foodie place, isn't it? And yeah, it's different to Melbourne, but
Yeah.
I feel like it's you know, there is a bit more of, from what I can read, maybe more like winery,
Yeah.
that kind of foodie place. Is
Yeah.
that right? And they're very into the produce from the area.
Yeah, so I would think, because you and I work in the same industry, although different sides, but like you'll understand, like I think Adelaide's market, it's a little bit different because I would say it's a little bit behind on the dining scene than Melbourne, because Melbourne's been here so long and it's so much competition. So we sort of had the idea to become a sort of like a market leader in a sense. So it would make our job easy.
In Adelaide.
Yeah, and so like it was we had the idea all settled down, but like it didn't work out. But like I think the culture there with the growth in population, definitely, like for sure, it's gonna be, because I know I have two friends who's already opened up what I wanted to do.
Okay.
Yeah, so like, and they're doing great. You know, it's like it's not. I don't think it's not like people like to say, oh, there's not enough people. You know, people not going out. People want to go out, obviously. Who doesn't want to have a good time? It's just what you offer is more than what they expected. That's how people are happy with whatever you have. Right?
Yes.
Like it's, if they come in expecting, oh, I'm paying, of course, when I go out, I'm saying like, oh, okay, I'm expecting, if I pay $120 tonight, I'm expecting something at least. But, you know, like it's not, you have to be a little bit more in order to make people happy. Yeah.
Can we notice? So your family's you're from China.
Yeah,
But did you come here to school?
Yeah. I grew up here.
Yeah.
I came here when I was in primary school.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was an experience for me first. I remember it was 2007, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, 2007. We didn't have, like, you know, Google Maps and stuff.
Oh, that's it's hard to
Yeah.
hard to believe. It's hard to remember.
The vivid memory I had is like I had a big book of Melway, the map thingy.
Yes.
My parents and I, we landed in Waverley first because one of our friends was there, and then from there we're just on our own, just like trying to figure out everything. So it was good that I get to experience the whole middle school to high school period in Melbourne. So like I learned to appreciate more of the city. And then I went to Melbourne U for like 3 months.
Oh.
And then I transferred to the US to do more like architecture stuff.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
And where was that? We're in the US.
So I was in Cleveland first.
Okay.
And I was studying finance. And then I was getting really depressed. And then I told my parents, they're like, okay, guys, I need to change what I wanted to do. And then I applied for art schools because I wanted to do architecture. So I got accepted by SVA in New York, also the Art Institute in Chicago. And I wanted to go to Chicago because I had this like romantic idea about like how the city is.
Yeah.
So I wanted to go. So that's how I ended up in Chicago.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so where does hospitality fit into things?
I would say it's more family influence.
Okay.
because my parents, they had coffee shops.
Oh, okay.
They had like motels. So they've been doing this for some time. And I was working for them when I was in high school. So I didn't mind it too much, because some people don't like waking up in a coffee shop, especially like 6 o'clock in the morning. I didn't mind it. I thought it was fun. I enjoyed the sort of like the people, fast-paced environment.
Yeah.
So it was something that never went away per se. And with the Adelaide restaurants, and then with the Melbourne things going on, I was just thought like it's a good time to combine what I did before, and then also what I learned in school, and my job as well.
Yeah.
So I think it's like it's a very well connected industry, because like it's not just food. It's a lot of things.
That's right.
Yeah, and it's a lot of things coming together, so that your customers feel good when they come here. So I wouldn't say like my architectural or like design or like curator experience went to waste.
No.
In a sense, it happens in conversations. It happens in people appreciating your choices for wines, and in hospitality as well. You're constantly trying to be a better person, because you always learn new things. Like right now I'm mainly focused on learning about wine.
Okay.
I'm thinking about doing like level 3 in WSET. It's just fascinating, like so many things just underlying under the surface, right? Like it just makes people see only a fraction of it, but your whole like your knowledge base makes your fraction just that much better, I think. Yeah.
And this French-Japanese concept, or I suppose Japanese food with French techniques, is that what the idea was? How did you come to that?
So we've known our executive chef, who's Tomotaka Ishizuka, for a long time. French influence mostly comes from me and my wife's personal experience, because we tried so many restaurants in the US.
Oh.
Yeah, and then we traveled a lot.
Yeah.
And especially we really like what we had in like Chicago, New York, even some southern states like New Orleans, especially like all these fusion influences had a very strong impact on us.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking like these two genres of cooking, I just feel like it fits well with each other, because Japanese food, it's more about representing the original taste of your recipe and your ingredients. So in a sense that like the better your ingredient is, the tastier it is going to be, because all the cooking methods takes a second stage. It is more about presenting what you have. I think with French food, it's more about, of course seasonal stuff is important, but it's also a lot of techniques involved.
Yes.
So a lot of preparations, a lot of thoughts go into your sauces, your cooking methods. We just thought, we had a talk with our chef together, right? And then we just thought, it doesn't hurt to try, because it is something we've seen some people do really well. I'm gonna be honest with you. We are also inspired by like some of the Melbourne restaurants. It is something we want to do, but not to that level yet, because I'm not a chef owner, so I can only rely on my team to build what I want to have. So I want to keep it more of a neighborhood bistro vibe.
Yeah.
So you can come here, always have a good food choices, and always have solid wine choices, and that's it. I don't want to go like let's promote like we are like hand level.
No.
It's not.
Okay.
It's not something we are like actively looking for.
Yes.
But I'll be more than happy to
Yeah.
get one. Obviously.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's right. But then there's pressure, isn't there,
It
to
is.
maintain your hat and all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've been reading some interesting discussions lately about the Michelin stars and why we don't have them here. And,
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
What we ate here was so delicious. I just felt
Thank you.
it was really just all the flavours. And my favourite thing was the soup, actually, with the egg.
Oh yeah, the Chawanmushi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just so cozy and savoury, and like all the flavours just made me feel like I was doing something really good for my body as well.
It is,
It was
yeah.
just so delicious.
Yeah.
I loved it. But it was all really great. We were very well treated when we ate here. It was so delicious. Yeah. So when you're putting together the menu, and that's the first menu, or you've changed it?
We've changed it a little bit.
When did you open? September.
September. Yeah.
Yeah, so you would have had another menu before that.
Yeah.
Do you sit down with your executive chef and discuss ideas?
I sit down with our executive chef, our Sue, and our sushi chef, and mostly just me and Mira, so 5 people together.
Yeah.
So we just sort of set what we want to do for your next season, basically, and then we try to introduce them in stages.
Yeah.
So we run more seasonal food as special first, and then we see our feedback, and then if it's solid, it has a solid footing, then we put it on the menu, and then we try to take off something that's not in season anymore. Like we used to have a Jerusalem artichoke. It was really nice with like yeast and then vichyssoise. It was like earthy and foresty. It was nice and crunchy. But with the season, especially with artichoke as well, it's very hard to keep offering that same standard when it's not in season. So we try to rotate things, obviously, and at the same time we try to say like, okay, how much percentage are we staying with Japanese? How much percentage are we doing French?
Right.
Like it's important to remain. There's a line there. You can go maybe like 25% above and beyond.
Oh.
But like,
what's your ideal line?
My ideal line is, I would say, 40% Japanese, 60% French.
Really?
Yeah, because in a sense that Japanese ingredients are very characteristic in themselves.
Yes.
So you don't really need to treat them with too much. Obviously, you're very careful with the preparation, but you don't really need to, like, okay, this fish needs to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
So it's more about, it's funny because we talk to our fish suppliers, and then they go out fishing and stuff. So they let us know, like, okay, this is fresh today. Do you guys want it? So that's more of what we understand as more, special stuff for our guests, because people don't have it in their daily routines. You'd say like monkfish, like sometimes even we get puffer fish, and then we eat the livers, and we eat like the abalones, like these things, like you rarely see them on people's menus.
But would that be more for sushi, sashimi, or are you saying you're using it more for French?
We try to combine both.
Okay.
Yeah, like we also had a special where it's just a rabbit terrine, and then we serve that with our own baked little crispy croutons, and then also with our own pickled Japanese vegetables.
I see.
So, like, it's always like up and down, but in my sense, it's more about like the ingredient side is more Japanese, And then the cooking method side, the sauces and stuff, maybe more 60%.
Okay.
French, yeah.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
And do you look through cookbooks or at Instagram, YouTube, those kinds of things for the people who are doing those kinds of things, or French technique, for example?
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot. Like, because I'm not a chef.
Yes.
Right? So I need to really catch up
Yeah.
in that sense because I know my wines. That's fine because I started really early on. But it's just with dishes, it's hard to communicate even with your chefs if you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
So they won't get like what you're saying. There's a balance of flavors. There's like, you need a little bit acidity there. You need to have a twist at the end to make people feel special. The dish is not just scallops. You know? Of course, scallops are nice, but it would be nicer to be able to, as the owners, to understand what they're doing in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And recipes, like Instagram, YouTube, in a sense that also I watch a lot of like documentaries on Netflix.
Yeah.
And we just try to absorb
Amazing.
like a lot of things, and then we do trials with our chefs.
Yeah.
It's like something we can do or cannot do. It requires too much. Like, we would love to offer like truffle service at the table, you know, or like caviar service at the table, but it's, as an operator side, it just doesn't make too much sense right now. So, you know, like I can be very open about, like, you know, very honest about like what we do. It's not something like we can do that for special occasions. Let's say for like, you know, Mother's Day or special holidays we can do, but on a day-to-day basis, I think it's more important to focus on the consistency of the dishes you're serving. It's not like, oh, this table's getting really good steak, and the next one is they'll ask for medium rare is medium.
Yeah.
So like I think consistency is more important than you know, expensive ingredients, and people appreciate it. They know. Yeah.
And so when people come into Bansho, what's the experience you want them to have? Should they be working their way through the menu? What's the ideal?
It's a very personal thing.
Okay.
So everything I do in the restaurant, I come from, because I think the venue itself is an extension of the owners. It is very much a representation of who you are. So I didn't do set menus because I don't like set menus. I want to understand the dishes at other restaurants as well. I want to choose what I want to have. I want to be able to have that freedom. So I tell my customers, it's a very simple menu. You can do courses, but everything is designed to be shared. Everything can be shared, and you can do different portions or sizes or pieces. It's fine. We can all do that. But you can ask me questions. I'm happy to talk to you about the menu, but I want to leave that ultimate deciding right to our customers. You know, if they don't know what Chawanmushi is, I get a lot of people who don't know what it is. They see the spanner crab, they see the egg custard, they're like, oh, I don't want to have like hot savory eggs, you know. But I tell them, you know, it doesn't hurt to try.
Yeah.
It would, like, it's a new experience. If we have the confidence to put it on the menu, you know, it wouldn't be like a bad surprise per se. But yeah, like it's a very personal approach for this restaurant. You know, I want everything is. I come from my point of view, and I sort of want my customers to understand. This is not like a very serious fine dining. It's not like we are only a, like, more accurate description would be like a little bit more premium neighborhood bistro with very good food and wine choices. And I deliberately keep my wine list very simple. I only have Victorian French wines, and I'm gonna do like a special little list of my own cellar
Oh.
later on, just from wines from other countries, but mostly, you know, you go into a restaurant, the wine, people, like the wine list is like 20 pages long,
Yes.
and you flip through, there's so many areas, so many choices. I was like, now I study wine, I have fun looking at it, but imagine like the average customer, they don't want to look at too many choices. No, it's like they know what they like, and they're happy to listen to your advice.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, it's a solid choice is better than them overpaying for something they don't really know what they're getting. So, you know, we'll keep it very clear, like just areas and grape varieties. That's it.
Yeah.
You know you're gonna like it. It's not gonna deviate too much, and you feel like an adventure, you can talk to me. You know, like I offer different. I always encourage my customers to try different grapes. There's always it's a nice surprise for like both sides. You know?
And how do you keep all those flavors and things in your head? So with the wines, for example,
Yes,
if you come across something you really like, do you keep notebooks? Or is it in your
I
phone?
use an app.
Oh, you use an app? Yeah.
I take, so every bottle I taste, I take a picture of the label, and then because we were learning about wine systematically, so I try to use the tasting notes as a guidance, basically. So I always ask, when they ask me like, oh Larry, what wine should I have tonight? I always ask them like, what do you usually have, and what's your favorite, you know, wine choices, so I can go from their point of view and combine with my experience, so I can just be like, okay, this is something new, but it's gonna be a very good experience for you. Yeah, I use a lot like wine searchers, Vivino, and I use my cellar. It's to keep track of the stuff all you had, and we have like really detailed Excel sheets with like alcohol percentage, tasting notes, vintage, and then where we had it, like when we had it, like all the it's a very big file. Yeah.
Sounds like a fun file.
Yeah.
And how important is matching the wine to the food?
I would say it is important, but the more I feel like the more I do, or the more people I talk to, or the more wines I drink, the pairing is not as important as what I believed before. Because you have to think about the dining experience as a whole. For me, the most fun I had drinking and eating with my friends is I always remember the fun things first, then the wine, and then the food, right? So I think it's a very holistic experience. It's a whole package.
Yeah.
Of course, I would recommend certain wines with certain dishes. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. But, you know, people tell me, like, I tell people, you know, they have tempura here. And then I'm really proud of that tempura. So everything is freshly made. And I was like, look, with tempura, it's a very tricky thing. It's deep fried. It's hot. And you have different sauces and different dipping options. So like, basically you can go with any alcohol of your choice. I recommend champagnes before, with you know, to break up a little bit of because the deep fry the crust, and then recommended white wines, really mineral stuff, to cut through everything, and I also recommended like pinots.
Okay, wow.
Because it's like, you know, it's a deep fried seafood.
Yeah.
It's not like a steamed fish that it's gonna destroy the whole flavor, and you have the backbone structure of sauces and a lime salt to support your savoriness. And then I think what's most important is, like, at the end of the day, if they're happy with the package, then wine pairings or specific food pairings
takes a back seat from the experience itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, no disrespect to like venues. I mean, like, it's great that when I go to a more like fine dining setting, they tell me this is the best. I can appreciate it a lot more, but it's just not something I want to do here, because it's gonna be like, you know, you're gonna have this with that and have that with that, and people are like, Larry, stop talking to me, let me have a good time.
Yeah.
No, like, it's I want to offer that freedom, you know. You
Yeah.
can sit here and talk to your friends. It's like, oh, you forgot you had a wine, and have a sip,
Yeah.
and then you finish, order a cocktail, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's not like we're not serious about wine choices. we do like auctions and stuff. We try to find like really good producers, and then really like highlight the Victorian winemakers. But it's there, you know, if you want to have it. But it's like, if you ask me how much does it mean to your good time here, I don't know. You know, it's each to their own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm beginning to see you're all about the good time. That's
Yeah. I'm a very
that's the bottom line.
yeah. I think I would say I'm a very like intuitive
Yeah.
person. I think like the years of learning about like art and stuff is just sort of like let me discover who I am.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Great.
has an impact on what I appreciate
Yeah.
more, especially when I'm young now, but
Yes.
I was running a restaurant, 2 restaurants when I was like 24, like 25.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, so like I was like, it offers me a whole new perspective on, you know, people's interactions and what people like about you,
Yeah.
what people like about your restaurant, and then the sort of connections they have with you as an owner. You know, every time you see them coming in, and you remember their faces, you remember their names, you remember their preferences. You know, it's just something nice to have in even in any dining setting. You know, you feel welcome. You want to go home. You know,
Yeah.
have a good time.
Well, it seems like you enjoy being here.
Yeah.
And that's nice. I think it's nice for people to come into a restaurant where people want to be there. And
Yeah.
want
of
to
course.
create that
Yeah.
feeling.
Yeah, because like at the end of the day, like we said before, right? It's an extension of who you are. If you don't like being here, people can tell.
Yeah.
Yeah, people feel it. As soon as they walk in, they feel it.
Yeah.
They see you, you know, sitting, like standing behind the counter, no smile on your face, and you're like looking tired and stuff. Like, they're not gonna have a good time.
No.
Yeah, so like if you're not having a good time in the restaurant yourself, that means your patrons is not gonna enjoy their time here. Like, it's simple. I always tell my staff, like, it is important to think about when you go out to eat, what sort of good time you want to have, and you create that for a customer here. That's the basic things. Like, you know, there's lots of details obviously, but the fundamental thing is like, are you thinking from their perspective, right? If people come here for different occasions, people come here just have casual meals, or they want to sit down and watch the chefs work, of course we can offer like all of this stuff. But you know, but you need it's important to be in their shoes per se, you know, and understand what they are looking for. Like, especially just the short amount of time they spend with you, you need to be able to create that experience for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's right.
I would say like I think I'm in nature. I'm like a little bit of crowd pleaser.
Yeah.
So that is also something my wife tells me a lot. Like, oh, Larry, you need to be like really, you know, because sometimes I don't listen too well. I don't follow the rules too well.
Yeah.
I'm a very like organic kind of thing, but it's important to have rules at the same time. You
Yeah.
know? Like, so I really appreciate her presence in this restaurant because she keeps me grounded. Otherwise, I'll be like in the sky just having fun with guests and forget about like, you know, what I was supposed to do. Yeah. So yeah, it's a very, very, for me, it's a very, very fun experience, and I think people should be. I think people have the right to experience that every time they go to any venue, right?
Yeah.
You go there to have a good time.
Well, it's hospitality, isn't it? So you do expect that people are going to be hospitable.
Yeah, that is true. It is hospitality.
At the end of the day.
Yeah.
I mean, the onus is on the public to also be polite and respectful and appreciative. But
yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never thought about like, what is hospitality actually? Like I just go with. I learn through the process.
Yes.
Obviously, I don't have 20 years of experience in the industry, but with younger generations as well, I think we do absorb things and learn things much faster, and then we change a lot quicker. So every day is like micro changes for us. We're learning that we shouldn't do this. We're learning we shouldn't do that. And then we're doing something good. Let's keep it going. So that's a constant feedback of things. But I think it's at the end of the day, it is about being hospitable. Yes. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Conversation with a Chef with Larry Jour at Bansho Dining in Armadale. If you liked what you heard, you can check out all the goodness on Instagram at Bansho Dining. That's BANSHO Dining. There are some stunning food shots there. If you'd like to hear more stories from other chefs, I'm on Instagram at Conversation with a Chef. You can read the chat and become a subscriber at www.conversationwithachef.com. And of course, you can listen on Apple and Spotify podcasts and review me. Let me know that you're there. I would love it if you told a friend about my chats, and I'm so grateful that you listened today. Thanks so much. Have a great day and bon appetit.